Hi everyone, Matt Monas here, and in my hands I have the DELL XPS 13 and the DELL XPS 15. These are two of my favorite laptops on the market today. They also happen to be the latest refresh, which means they're running the latest Intel Skylake processors. Now some of you out there might not be sure which one to get, and I hope to help you out with that today. So this is a comparison video comparing the two, and at the end of this video I will suggest which one might be the better fit for you. Now if you want a full review, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, because those will be coming out in the near future. So let's get started with the design. Like the previous version of the DELL XPS 13 that came out earlier this year, both later models of the 13 and 15 retain and adopt the same design philosophy. The bottom and top is made out of metal, and sandwiched in between is a carbon fiber deck. Dell was able to make the 13-inch laptop feel like an 11-inch Ultrabook, and the 15-inch model feel like 14 inches. The result is a two-tone finish that looks absolutely stunning. Both the XPS 13 and 15 have almost the same amount of ports. On the left side it has a power connector, USB 3.1, an HDMI port, USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3 port, and an audio jack. While the right side has one USB 3.1 port, a battery life indicator, Noble lock, and an SD card slot. The DELL XPS 13 looks identical to the 15, except it doesn't have an HDMI port. Alright, let's talk about the specs, and the DELL XPS 13 is a review unit and has an Intel Skylake i5 6200U dual-core CPU, 8GB of RAM, 256GB of PCIe SSD storage, and a QHD Plus touch display. Now this model retails for $1,450 US or $1,900 Canadian. The most expensive model will net you an i7, 16GB of RAM, and 512GB of storage space. Now the DELL XPS 15 I bought myself, and it's the most expensive model. It comes with an Intel Skylake quad-core i7 CPU, 16GB of RAM, 512GB of PCIe SSD, and an Ultra HD 4K touch display. This model retails for $2,230 US or $2,550 Canadian. Now, no matter which model you choose, they all have what Dell calls an Infinity Edge display. This basically means the display runs almost edge to edge with little to no bezel surrounding it. You can purchase either model with a 1920 by 1080p display, or if you opt for the touch versions, you can get the DELL XPS 13 with a QHD Plus display. The QHD Plus isn't quite 4K, but it's a lot more pixel dense than a regular QHD screen. Now, if you want true 4K display, then you'll have to stick with the 15-inch model, as it offers a resolution of 3840 by 2160. The 4K display is a little more color accurate than the 13, with 100% minimum Adobe RGB compared to the 96% on the XPS 13. However, the XPS 13 does get a little brighter with 400 nits of brightness compared to the 350 on the XPS 15. Regardless of whichever laptop you choose, both of these displays are beautiful. Below that display is the 720p webcam, which is not in the greatest position, but due to the thin bezels, there's really nowhere else to put it. The webcam produces good results for video conferencing and the odd picture. The keyboard on the XPS 15 looks and feels the same as the 13. Both have two levels of backlighting to choose from and offer enough space between the keys to not give you that cramped effect. The only complaint I always have with the keyboards on the XPS line is the key travel distance. It's a little short at 1.2 millimeters compared to the average of 1.5 to 2.0, and at first it feels strange, but after typing on it for 10 minutes, you'll quickly get used to it. Overall, it's a very comfortable keyboard. Below the keyboard is the touchpad. Both are great, but the 15 is definitely better. And the only reason is because it's bigger and has more space to move your fingers around. Regardless, these are the best touchpads I have ever used on a Windows laptop. It's glass with a black matte finish, and it feels really good. Scrolling is smooth, gestures work well, and pinch to zoom is accurate. Alright, so if you've had the original DELL XPS 13 that came out earlier this year in January or February, you may or may not know about the touchpad issues that it was having. Sometimes the cursor would jump around on the screen or not be very accurate when you're pointing and clicking. There's a huge thread on the Dell forums of people complaining about it, but the good news is that it's finally been fixed. Dell has been working very closely with Microsoft to fix the issue, and on one of the recent driver updates, the issue has been resolved. Now, the latest refresh of the DELL XPS 13 and the previous version use the exact same touchpad hardware, so the issue should be completely gone. Moving on to sound, and the speakers on the XPS 13 are placed on the side of the laptop, while the XPS 15 has them on the bottom. Both models get loud and sound clear at max volume. Now the XPS 15 does get significantly louder, but has a tingy sound at high volumes due to the speaker's placement. Regardless, both of these speakers will have no problem filling up a medium-sized room with sound, and I think most people will be happy with the overall audio quality. Now, so far, most of the specs and features have been quite comparable, but performance is where they start to differ. The 13-inch is meant to be a smaller, more compact design aimed towards professionals looking for something powerful, light, and easy to carry. Whereas the 15-inch model still retains a small form factor, but it's packed with more powerful hardware and is perfect for those looking for a portable video editing machine, moderate gaming laptop, or perhaps to do work with AutoCAD. For day-to-day productivity tasks such as browsing the web, light use of Photoshop, working with Microsoft Office or Google Docs, you won't really see a speed difference between either laptop. It's only when you start to game or edit video that you'll notice the difference. The extra power from the quad-core CPU and dedicated NVIDIA 960M graphics card inside the Dell XPS 15 provides a big performance bump when faced with demanding tasks. The Dell XPS 13 and 15 come with a 56 watt-hour battery. Unless you upgrade the 15-inch version to a 4K touchscreen, the battery size gets bumped up to 84 watt-hours. Regardless the size, the Dell XPS 13 has the better battery life. The screen is smaller, there's less pixels to push, the dual core runs more efficiently, and on top of all this, there's no battery-hungry dedicated video card to worry about. The XPS 13 can last easily 11 hours without needing a charge, whereas the bigger 84 watt-hour XPS 2015 can only average around 6 or 7. Alright, so here's the bottom line. Both of these laptops are awesome and happen to be my favorite Windows laptops of 2015. They're light, they're portable, they look great, and they're powerful enough to get what you need done depending on which model you choose. So here's my suggestion. Get the XPS 13 if you need a small, portable, and light laptop that gets the basics done, such as productivity tasks, browsing the web, consuming media, and light use of more powerful applications such as Adobe Photoshop. Get the XPS 15 if you want a portable powerhouse with more screen real estate, a higher color gamut, and the ability to edit video and moderately game. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I want to know in the comments below which one you like better, and if you have one already, what you like and dislike about it. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video, as I will be releasing separate reviews on both of these laptops. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody in the next video.